Oh, you mean you want on the fly?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got you. I'm sorry. We're not live, right? You live?
Getting ready to go. We going. We going.
Am I live already? I'm already
Okay.
live.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. He
Yeah,
didn't
you
even.
got live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you are live.
I am. Y'all, I didn't know I was live. We live.
We like.
Live. Welcome to Candid Conversation. I messed up. I'm live for real. But as I've said before, this is the show where we have all of the flaws, and I love it because it's so authentic. It's not funny. But today is amazing. It's Happy Saturday. I have an amazing guest. I'm still excited. Nothing can take my joy from this day because this is a great and amazing day. My guest here, y'all. Let me just get started with the show. Right here. Ooh, I ain't finna start crying. Lord have mercy. Ooh, the first thing I wanted to talk about, though, is comfort zone. I just wanted to spend like a few minutes, though, talking real talk on comfort zone. My producer and I, we had a conversation. I think it was last week, maybe the week before, when we were talking about comfort zones. I don't know if you guys know, but a comfort zone is a psychological state in which things feel familiar to a person and they are at ease and in control of their environment, and you're not experiencing any type of anxiety when you're in a comfort zone. But we've come to see stress as a taboo word, a dirty word, and I, for good reason. We're humans, but a little bit of healthy stress can actually act as a catalyst for your growth and provide a powerful motivation. Okay,
I agree.
to act. You agree? Miss Becky Davis in the house. Oh, let me stay on point. I'm ready. But while staying in your comfort zone can result in consistent, steady performance, it can. Stepping out of your comfort zone into a new and challenging task can create conditions for optimal performance. Okay, so we got to think about it. Did you ever do something that you were really proud of when you were in autopilot mode?
Autopilot mode. Yeah. I mean, there are times when, and I'm trying to think of a specific thing. Working in autopilot. There are times when I'm working in my office, preparing for an event or for something, working with a client, and I can get so in the zone that is just it's flowing, and then at the end of it, I step back and look at what was just created and was like, I did this. Yeah, I did this.
Yeah.
This is me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so there, especially when I get into when God is just flowing it in, when He's just giving it to me, and I'm being obedient and taking steps and follling the direction. I'm always in awe at the end.
That's right.
Of what
That's
what transpires. So yes.
So I just wanted to bring that up really quick, and I also want to give a shout out to my producer Courtney in the house. Woo-hoo. Hey Courtney,
Hey,
over there, Courtney. But I want to say something really quick, which led me to bringing up comfort zone. We were at the Steeple Awards a couple of weeks ago, and we actually. The radio station was presenters for one of the awards, and he kept saying, I'm just gonna let y'all hosts go up there and do it. I'm behind the scenes. I don't want to see nobody. And we were like, you own the radio station. Like, how you gonna just send us up there? But after he stepped out of his comfort zone and did it, he said it was just an amazing feeling, that I did something that I'm not used to. And he said, now I can expect more growth.
Yeah.
Because I stepped out of my comfort zone. So I look up to him for that. So, every day I get up now, I just like, okay, what can I do to kind of just step a little bit outside of my comfort zone?
Yeah.
Woo! So I just wanted to bring that up. Shout out,
That's
Courtney.
where growth
Yes.
lives on the other side of your comfort zone.
Yes. I just wanted to shout him
So
out.
you grew a little bit, is
He
what
grew-
she's saying.
Yeah,
You
he
grew a
grew
little
a
bit.
little bit. He grew a little bit. So I look up to him for that. So I just wanted to say that, you gotta challenge yourself sometimes. You gotta take risks sometimes. You gotta try new things sometimes, which is what he did. He tried something new. Let his face be seen, and embrace new challenges. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Y'all know my introduction is just all the way off today because we were live. Didn't know, but it's okay. I just wanted to talk about comfort zone, but now I'm going to the real good treat for today. We got Miss Becky A. Davis in the house. I don't even know. Y'all know how y'all get celebrity struck. And y'all know I interview many celebrities, and I don't really get that struck. But this woman right here strikes me. She walks in the room, and you can just see the power behind her, just flowing.
It's that light. It's the light shining.
Miss Becky A. Davis, everybody.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with this phenomenal way. I could not wait to do this today.
I couldn't either. That's all I thought about. It's all I thought about. But happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on the day before Mother's Day where I could say happy Mother's Day to you in front of the whole world.
Happy Mother's Day to everyone out
Yes,
there, too.
all of you out there.
Yes.
We just had Miss Jocasta on, and she had this really big Mother's Day show. It was amazing. So I don't want to just keep going into and beat it to a dead horse, but hey, it is Mother's Day. We got to celebrate the mothers.
Yes, we do a lot now.
Yeah.
We do a lot.
Hey, baby, we do so much.
Exactly.
But I'm going to get into this talk. We'll come back to Mother's Day before we close out. I'm going to get into this talk with Miss Becky Davis. And as far as reading her bio, I'm going to read it, y'all. But this bio don't do her no justice. When I tell you this woman right here, she is the chief bosspreneur, Miss Becky A. Davis. She is also known as the entrepreneur's secret weapon. And guess what? That is not a lie at all. She is known for her straightforward coaching skills, and she develops individuals into well-rounded business owners. She works as a business growth architect,
Yes.
with a construction crew of experts that designs business growth blueprints to help clients accelerate business and build their dream business. Like I said, I could go on. Oh, Lord. But it still don't do her no justice. I don't care how good it is. She is amazing. She is a member of the Forbes Magazine Coaches Council. I didn't even know that. Oh, that's good.
That is.
Official. Yeah, that is. Official entrepreneur coach for the ultra exclusive Odyssey Media Retreat. She's an executive coach for Black Enterprise Women of Power Summit and the national entrepreneur spokesperson for the Coca-Cola Company. Woo woo, Coke in the house.
Yes.
Women's Small Business Initiative, and she is one of the most, trust me, she is one of the most in-demand speakers and experts for small businesses, leadership development, and women empowerment. And so I introduce to you again, Miss Becky Davis.
Hey, y'all.
Yay!
Thank you.
No, this bio don't do you no justice because
you
you
did.
were just. I mean, I was standing in my closet like, what I wear today? Becky gonna be on the show. I gotta be cute because, honey, she fine. Every time she walk in, anybody though, I don't care. Dress up, dress down. I was like, oh, okay, just wear your T-shirt. You'll fit in.
You are just fine.
But you are beautiful as ever.
Thank you.
That's yeah. She's beautiful as ever. So, I want to talk about man, an hour. I don't even know if an hour is long enough to talk about. You can
We could go a while.
Ooh, boy, we can go on and on and on and on. I have so many things I want to talk about, but she is one of my top 5 women in the world. I mean, I love a lot of you guys. I do. I love you. But as far as role model, and of course, she is my mentor. Has been for about a year and a half now. And man, it's so much that I can say. Like, y'all, I told y'all I wasn't going to tear up if we here today. I'm going to be good. I'm going to ask some questions.
Try to be
Look,
good.
I'm going to try. Look, I'm going to throw this off. Look, we're going to go on and talk about her book. She is the author. Let's talk about her book real quick first so I don't get to crying up in here. So she is the author of 40 Days of Prayer for My Business. Think big, pray hard, and wait expectantly. When I tell you this book has changed. Y'all see the book? Every camera, I'm hitting every camera. it changed. This one, oh, okay. They say hit that one.
Yeah,
we're gonna hit. Yeah, we're gonna hit them all.
Over here. Y'all need to see it. Y'all, okay.
Hit them all. Hit them all. If you are a business owner, small business owner, big business owner, it doesn't matter. You need this book. Like real talk. I've read it like 3 or 4 times.
I done went through several 40 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
she has what are the things, the challenges where you get people
40
involved
days,
to go
we
with
do
it?
a 40-day challenge where we have 40 videos, 40 every day of the challenge to walk women through the process of praying for their business. Because we don't pray for our business in this book the way most people, when you think about praying for your business, what do we think? Lord, help me get this client. Lord, help me close this deal. Lord, I need this money.
Yes,
those are the prayers that automatically come to our head. But this was really focused. It was really me taking my personal devotion time with God and turning it into a way to share it with others. I was doing a book called 31 Days of Prayer for my husband, and he was doing 31 Days of Prayer for my wife.
Right. Okay.
And so we were going through at the same time because the prayers kind of mimic each other, but opposite for the spouse. And so as I was going through that, I was being blessed as I was going through it, and I was like, I love the discipline in this. And I was like, this is how I need to pray for my business. And so I started praying for my business with that discipline and thought, if I'm need the discipline, I'm sure I'm not the only one that needs the discipline. And so that was the idea for putting the book together. But I wanted people to be able to think about praying for your business from 50,000 feet, not just from right now, I need this client, but from a higher perspective. And so the first day of the 40 days starts with, you are the CEO of the business. You're the owner of the business.
It does. It does. Y'all just got to get it and open up. It does. It does.
Because we think, we had the idea. We went and got the license, and we did all it. So it's so easy to think, I have my business. But as believers, you are a steward of the business. And so it's really to help us to better equip ourselves as we go through business to really seek God differently about our business. So there's different things that the book deals with when it comes to praying for your business, and it's just been amazing because I launched the book March of last year, and
I remember like it was yesterday.
It's just the response that still comes in today from people that are saying, oh my God, this book blessed me. Anytime I get a Facebook message or someone sends me something and shares their story, it's just like, okay, God, that just means my obedience is blessing someone else. So it changed my life because I went through the 40 days before I actually launched the book. And within the 40 days, you have your ups and your downs, because anytime you're spending specific time with God daily, Satan gets busy.
Don't he?
Yes, he does. And so it was through the process, making it through the process and the blessings that God gives just for the obedience of taking 10 minutes a day to just spend some time with him.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So I want to encourage all of you guys to get this book. Like, for real, it done turned my life around. And I know it's for your business, but it works in your life too.
Yes.
I got through some of these things. I was like, this ain't got nothing to do with my business.
Right. I need this for me too. I need this for just what's going on right now.
And I'm going to start writing in my book too.
Oh, yeah.
I have a separate journal. Now, it's kind of journal based.
Yes.
So that you can write in it and write your own prayers the way, but I like keeping my books
and writing something else.
Yeah, I'm a perfectionist. But I learned a big lesson yesterday. So I said, I'm going to start writing in here. And it doesn't hurt to keep going back. And I've seen the exponential growth in my own business just from 40 days of prayer for my business. So I really want you guys to go to Amazon.com and get this book. And not only get the book, leave a review, okay?
Please. Leave
a review. Please. Let the author know how well she did, and that what she can do to bring you something, some more stuff. That's what we do with the reviews. We check them out, and then we get better and bring you some more powerful stuff. So leave her a review. Get Amazon.com. Becky A. Davis, 40 Days of Prayer for My Business. Amazing book. Amazing, amazing. I'm so glad she wrote this. I'm so glad this woman came into my life, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all real quick how I met her. So, this is funny. Because I have a list here of Becky quotes, things that she says, tweetable things that she says, and I keep track of all of them, and they help me through my life. But we met each other a couple years ago at an event. And actually, I went, a mutual friend of mine introduced me to another lady. And she's like, you're new in Atlanta. I want you to meet somebody. She can help you with your business, blah, blah, blah. So I meet the lady, and she's a powerhouse in her own, Miss Felicia Phillips. Shout out. Happy Mother's Day, lady. And I said, well, I'm going to have this event, and I need you to speak at it. You mind? She said, no, I don't mind. She said, but let me check my schedule, because that date sounds familiar. So she checked the schedule. She said, I'm going to be in Africa, girl. I can't speak for you. I said, oh, then what I'm supposed to do? She said, no, I got somebody for you. I said, okay, are they good as you are? She was like, probably better. I said, okay. So she told me the lady's name. I'm like, okay. She said, well, she going to speak tomorrow. You got to come back tomorrow so you can hear. I said, okay, I'll do that. So I go back the next day, and Becky gets on the stage. And when she started speaking, I was like, texting my friend, like, is this the lady? And she was like, yeah, that's her. I was like, oh my God, this lady is amazing. So she kept speaking, and she kept speaking, and she said she had this little thing that she does. I have to tell everybody this little part. She has this little thing that she does in her presentation, and she has people crack the code. Well, nobody ever cracked the code, and so she asked someone to crack the code, and I jumped up like, me, pick me. You know, I just wanted to crack the code. Yeah. I didn't know how, but so I cracked the code.
She did, and no one had ever done that at my event, and I had to say, wait a minute, you messed my whole
right?
Nobody ever cracked the code.
Yep,
but I was like,
it.
did you really? And when she opened the box, because it's literally a lock box.
Yeah, literally.
And no one has ever cracked the code. I said, this girl done cracked the code.
I said, I'm going to
mess
get this.
my whole presentation.
I'm going to get this.
I'm ready next time. If somebody, I'm ready.
You ready?
You prepared.
I prepared.
You
See
prepared.
how God works. See how God works. So that's how we met. And afterwards, we were introduced, and I told her, that, I wanted her to speak and everything. She was like, I'd be glad to. But as she kept talking to me, she said, I want to be your mentor. Now, what I've learned about mentors is they have to choose you. Really. A really good mentor chooses their mentees. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's something that God shows them about that. And at that moment, she said, I want to mentor you. She said, I think it's a God formation. Mm-hmm. And now she got them all on shirts, y'all. Y'all need to go to her store and buy one. They're amazing. But yes, it was a God formation. And so that kind of stuck out to me. I'm like, wow, little old me, At that time, I was still had a lot of low self-esteem, a low self-worth. I didn't think I was worth anything. And someone stepping out like that, oh my God, it just did something for me. So it just kind of turned my life around in front of the world. I want to tell you thank you.
Oh, girl.
I'm not going to cry, y'all.
It was a good day, because I remember that day specifically.
Like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I remember that day specifically, too. And it was just something in our conversation, in our hug, that immediately jumped into my heart was to serve.
Yes.
To serve you.
Yes.
And that really did something to me, because you get, I felt where you were at the time, and felt like God crossed our paths specifically for a reason. And so to be obedient and say, let me mentor you. I have a mentorship program. You should be a part of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I had already selected the
everybody.
mentees.
Yep, you did.
I
said,
was done. I cut it off.
I'm going to add you in there.
Yeah, I was like, should I do it? And it stayed with me.
Yes.
And I was like, let me just share it with her. And so it's been a blessing for me, because just in the being obedient, how God has blessed me just for the obedience. So a lot of times, the mentees feel like, I'm getting so much. You have no idea how much the mentor receives from it, just as much, because it blesses me, especially to see from that day we met to see where you are today. It's just
I'm slaying, y'all.
I said, look at him.
Yeah, look at God. Look at God.
And just to be a part of the journey, it just that's my high. Mm-hmm. That's my, I don't have to take drugs. I don't have to get drunk. My high is the minute you've served someone else, and the blessings that come from it. Girl, I'll float on that for a minute. Yeah, that'll keep me up.
I said, I'm not going to cry. Oh my God. Yes, it is. It turned my life around, and like I said, I want to thank you for that. It really did.
Yeah.
And
I know it was some days I was pushing you.
Oh, yeah.
Days when you didn't want to be pushed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
I can admit.
Yeah. No, you got this.
Yes.
No, yes, you can.
Yes.
No, take this action. You
Yes.
don't know what you're going to get.
Yep.
Keep doing
And that
it.
comfort zone I was talking about.
It'll kill you.
Yeah.
Anything in the comfort zone is dying. It's always dying. You let your marriage get too comfortable. Death is coming. You get too comfortable in the relationship with your kids, it's dying. Anything too comfortable. You work on your job long enough where you're like, it's dying. You are dying slowly inside. It's when you push yourself outside of that, growth, energy, everything comes. But fear, that's a beast right there. Fear is a beast because fear will paralyze us from
Yes,
taking
it
any
will.
steps.
Yes, it will.
Fear is a thief. It'll steal your dreams, your ideas, your thoughts, your money. It'll take all of it from you because it paralyzes you.
Yes.
And you take no action. And so to have to consistently mentally fight through those things, I don't think all of us have the capacity and the ability to do amazing things. It's just who's willing to fight their own thoughts to get there.
That's right.
Because we all have to fight. They don't go away. When Oprah started OWN, a television show, after a couple of years of it just not being good, not doing well, she gets on the television and says, I was not doing this well. From someone who was successful in other areas, I was scared about this. I thought maybe I shouldn't do it. Now, for us, we thinking,
What she talking about?
You got this.
Yeah.
But that just means we all have those the fears and insecurities. It doesn't matter what level you get, doesn't matter how much money you have.
That's right.
Those things are always there, and it's the mental fight that we all have to move ourselves beyond it.
That was some nuggets, y'all. Y'all get them tweetable nuggets.
Gotta move. We all have them. Y'all know it. We all have them.
Yes. But before we get into candidness and questions, before we go to break, I want to let everyone know about the Bosspreneur Circle. She just began this year, the Bosspreneur Business Circle, which has been a blessing to many, many, many women out there. You want to elaborate and share about the Bosspreneur Business Circle?
That was another God move. But we launched in February. The Bosspreneur Business Circle is a membership platform for women entrepreneurs that's dedicated to the advancement of women-owned businesses. And our mission is to be the global leader in women-to-women partnerships and transactions. So for us to be able to do business together. And the platform it's an online platform membership, and we are opening chapters all over. We have a chapter in Houston that we open. We just opened a Gwinnett chapter.
Wow!
We're
gonna break Atlanta down.
We're gonna break Atlanta down. You know, we can have 5 chapters in Atlanta and still
This
never
is
cross
true.
paths.
That's true.
And then we're working on a chapter in London. And
Wow,
yes,
that's
yes.
amazing.
It's just, God is just good, but it's really a group of women. It's 12 of us on the team, and it's amazing the women that are connected as leaders to say, how do we? Because most of the women, we've done business together one way or another, and the goal is to get us to do more business together with each other. That's how we grow, and that's how we make money. Because there's something I have that you need, there's something you need that I have. Well, why not do business together?
I think that's another one of my that's another one of my Becky quotes I wrote down that I've learned over the years with her. She did end up speaking at that conference for me, and we talked. It was the collaboration project, which we've been talking about bringing that back. But in that conference, she said something about girls compete, women collaborate. And when I tell you, she broke the house down with her presentation. So she believes in the power of collaboration. It doesn't matter where you are, or she's doing the same thing I'm doing, or none of that stuff matters. The power of collaboration will raise both of you.
That's how you move up together to the next level is collaboration. And what's even better is if you're in the same industry. And so many people think, oh, we can't do. Some of my greatest friends and advocates, like next week we're having our bi-monthly networking event, and Dee Marshall from New York is coming down as our special guest. and me and Dee are in the same area, you know, in the same type of industry. But if I tell you that girl is not promoting me to people, and I'm not promoting her
exactly
to people, because what God has for me is for me. What He has for her is for her. So we don't have to get into, well, I don't want to. I mean, all the time, focusing on how do we serve this person right here, because God gives the increase. So
That's right.
it's
That's
not
right.
about the competing. That just keeps
Tweetable.
us in a bucket. That just no,
No. Yep,
don't do it. Don't do it.
So collaboration's big.
Yes.
I keep, like I said, I keep track of her quotes now. When I
Yes.
hear she said it's come out, let me write that down.
And the website.
Yes,
is
I was gonna say,
the
go-
BosspreneurBusinessCircle.com. And you can go to BeckyADavis.com just to find out about what I do and how I serve women. So the BosspreneurBusinessCircle.com. So women, if you are needing help in business, if you're needing help partnering with other people in business, we do a lot of, so many benefits for members. We do training webinars. We try to bring some of the most amazing women in the room to share their insights,
And
their
they do.
stories. Yeah, and
They do.
And the real stuff, not the, okay, great, yeah, rah. The, okay, I struggled here. Okay, I almost quit. I almost gave up. The real stuff that we all go through, we need to be sharing that stuff.
Yes,
That
yes.
stuff,
That's
not
what I'm
just
talking about.
everything is great.
And she's right, they do too.
Yeah.
I come out of there feeling like Wonder Woman, Superwoman, and
I
all
know,
of them
go
all
conquer
in
the
one.
world. It's like, oh, I'm ready now. You
I
only
can
have
do
for a
this.
minute.
Yeah, I can do this. So yes, so BosspreneurBusinessCircle.com.
Yes.
So check it out. Check it out. I want you guys to check it out, and don't forget to check out the book now. I'm gonna keep talking about the book. 40 Days of Prayer for My Business. Amazon.com. Leave a review.
Please.
Okay, so we're gonna go to break now, but when we come back, we're gonna get real candid with Miss Becky Davis. And we're gonna start asking her all the good questions. See how quick she is on
I'm
the
ready.
draw.
I'm
She
ready.
said she ready. We gonna see when we come back. Okay, we're right here, 108 Praise Radio, where we voice the gospel. We will be right back.
All sucky.
For those of you that are just tuning in, welcome to the Candid Conversation Show with Coach Stacy, right here on 108 Praise Radio, where we voice the gospel. And I appreciate you guys tuning in today. I have a beautiful guest in the studio, Miss Becky A. Davis. I'm so glad she stopped by. We've talked about who she is, what she does. Now, y'all might need her now. Give her a call now. She gave out a couple of, she gave out a website. She has the Bosspreneur Business, the founder of that, and it's doing really, really well. It's helping women all over the world, not just here in Atlanta. Right. She told us how they're opening chapters in Houston, London, and she said now Gwinnett County, right here in Atlanta. So that's doing really well. If you're a woman out there and you need a little assistance with boosting your small business up, or you're at a medium business and you want to go a little higher, that's the lady that can help you get there. Trust me.
Come on.
I'm making a little revenue now, a little bit. I ain't where she at yet, but I'm trying to tell you, I'm making a little bit now. She'll get it for you. But anyway, so that's who she is. Check her out, guys. I know I'm being silly, because we're on the radio, but in all honesty, she is the one for you. She can help get you there. But let me tell you something. No matter what she tells you, shows you, teaches you, if you don't do it, it's not going to work. And that's with anything. So I just want to throw that out there. People, you got to take action. Yes, God will place people in your path to help you get further, to help you exceed where you are, go to new levels, all that. He'll do all that. He'll do all of that. But you got to put in a little bit of work as well. And I always like to say that because I was one of those way back in the day, thought it would just go, I'll look up and it'd be right there.
Yeah, psych.
And there's so many people who really believe that.
Yeah.
I got faith. Okay, you got
Without
faith.
works, it's dead.
Yeah, you got faith. You got a little faith, and you still waiting.
Without works, it's dead.
So check her out. She can help get you the tools, the resources, the network, all of that, and it's amazing. It's amazing, but only tune in if you're really, really ready to work, because it is not a hop, skip, and a jump. Tell you that it's real work.
That's the real deal.
It's a real deal, Holyfield. That's right. That's
the real deal.
So we have Miss Becky here, and we're just having fun in the studio. It's the day before Mother's Day, and I've told her Happy Mother's Day. I want to tell all of you out there Happy Mother's Day. It's kind of important to me, though, as you guys heard me say, she's kind of like the celebrity in my life. I love her to death. There's 5 women that really. I want to say they're kind of like role models, but it's one thing with Becky. Sometimes it's hard for me to even express and talk to her because she has like this mother figure hold over me. I don't know what it is. But it's just, I'll be like, okay, yes, ma'am. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, she has, I don't know. Like, you know how you do when your mom is, yeah. So she has this mother thing. So she's like one of my top 5 women, and she just really, she's amazing. And then Felicia Phillips and Sherry Riley, those 2 women are another one. And then, of course, my mom, she knows she's number 1 or whatever. And then I have the woman with the issue of blood. From the Bible is one, because she went through so much, and people just looked over her and stepped over her, and and Jesus said, I got you. I felt you. I know you there.
Right.
I haven't forgot you.
Right.
Everybody else have, but I haven't. They won't let you through. They won't let you in. You can't get there. You trying to reach for me, and I got you. So that's another one of my role models. It's really, really deep, when I'm
a good one.
Feeling down, I hit that Bible and I read that little story, and I get a little bit, because just when she didn't give up.
Right. Her faith made her whole.
Made her whole.
It was the faith.
Yeah, she didn't give up. So, I had to let that out. Okay. So we're going to move on, and we're going to, have a little bit more fun. I'm going to ask Miss Becky some questions, and I want to know who her role model is.
Well, my mother, first and foremost, my mother has been the one constant in my life. Mama pushed me when I didn't want to be pushed. Mama said, you can do better, when I was like, average was good enough. So shout out to my mom. Bessie Jackson, I love you. I love you. I love you. Shout out to my mom. Jackson. That's right. So my mother has really been a role model to me. And then there are people that God has cross my path with that makes me stand in awe sometimes of who they are, what they do, the work they do, and then the way in which and the way in which they do their work. One of the ladies that's on my team, Audrey Hines. Miss Audrey is a role model for me because of the way she lives her life, the things that she shares, and the gift of service and giving. And it blows my mind because when I met Miss Audrey, I met her probably 4 years ago. I met her at a conference, and then a couple of months later, I saw her at another conference, and we started talking. And the next year, I saw her at a conference, and we were like, we just need to talk. We've seen each other a few times. And then I found out she lived here in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
And then we said we were going to meet when we got here in Atlanta, and we did that. But she is, and she's one of those quiet role models just in her, in the actions and things that she takes just really, really blows me away. There are people that I look to that I have not met personally, because when me and Oprah sit and have our conversation, I'll share with her the conversation.
Did y'all hear that? I think that went over people's heads.
No, when we have
yes,
our conversation, it'll be natural for me because I've had that conversation so many times. In my head, it was like, oh, I'm ready and I'm on.
Yes.
And it really, more than anything, it's because of the service and the push to always try to, her tagline is living your best life, and to watch not only her growth, to watch her the struggle within yourself to become great, and to surround yourself with people who are can impact your thinking is probably what I admire most, because I love being around. I like being the dumbest person in the room.
I know that's right. You learn
It
so
is the
much,
most
don't you?
uncomfortable place to be.
Yes.
But it
You
is
learn
the best
so much.
Because when you feel like you're the dumbest person in the room, you shut up.
Yep, and you listen.
And all of the nuggets that you get from the listening is amazing. And so she's one of those that we come. And the same thing with Michelle Obama to when we have our conversation. And I'm saying this on tape so y'all can be able to play this back, find this footage, and play it back when it happens. Because it will. I'll be just like Tiffany Haddish when Tiffany Haddish finally met her. She was like, "Oh, that'll be me. I'll be doing the exact same. It'll be similar, to the same thing. But I'm gonna get myself together enough so we gonna have this conversation.
Okay.
It's not just gonna be we're gonna take a picture. No, we're gonna talk. And have a conversation. But there's been some amazing people that have crossed my path, and God sends those people to all of us. It's just whether or not we are alert and aware to identify that He sent them to us. And so sometimes we miss out on those people. Even in corporate America, I had a lady, and who was my boss, a white female that would pull me aside and tell me the real stuff. Becky, you're a female, and you're an African-American female. It's not going to be easy, but you have everything it takes to get to the next level. But and she said, I'm saying this as a white woman. I've had my struggles, and she said, and I understand some of the underlying currents for women of color. And her thing was, I have your back. You have what it takes. And just those type of conversations that, you're in the workplace. How many of your boss is going to tell you that? Listen, let me tell you, it's like, no, we got to keep things. Those people, God put those people on our path for the time that we're on our path, because I'll never forget, her as an inspiration. I'll never forget my first boss in retail management, because she said she saw something in me that she hadn't seen in employees in her 20 years of working. And I was trying to figure out what she see. I don't know what she see, because we don't see what they see. But I believed her enough to push myself to work and to continue to better myself and to elevate myself in the careers that I have. But that's one of the for me, the biggest things is we struggle to see ourselves the way God sees us. We see ourselves the way the world will define us more. We'll line up and start kind of comparing ourselves to some of the world's definitions.
Definitely.
But the power of being able to see, I mean, I can even imagine how, you know, he sees me and I'm so far off base from what he sees. But that's one of my morning and my daily mantras. Lord, help me to see me the way you see me. And in Ephesians 1:3-5, he says, you are blessed, you are adopted, you are chosen, you are favored, you're forgiven, and you're redeemed. I have to say that over and over. Every day I wake up and I say, I'm blessed, I'm chosen, I'm adopted, I'm favored, I'm redeemed, I'm forgiven, over and over until it just gets down to where it's second nature. Because when we first start, it's just on the top of our subconscious. It has to get into our sub. It's just sitting on the top of our consciousness. But when that thing gets down and root, I'm probably gonna be a bad sister when that happens. When that happens, and I'm still working on it. Still working on it.
Still working on it.
Oh man, I'm still working on it. It's a humbling experience. Let me just say that.
Yes,
It's a humbling experience.
Amazing. Ooh, you got me all over here, honey. So what would you like to hear God say when you enter the pearly gates?
Well done, thy good and faithful servant.
I know that's right.
Well done. I want to see his face. Well done. And to get to well done, you have to well do. And so that's the work that we have here.
I like that.
Is to do.
Did y'all hear that? That's tweetable. To get to well done, you have to well do.
You have to do something. And so that's, for me, that's the most important driver for my life is, you know, I want my kids to be proud, my mother to be proud, but most importantly, I want to please God. And that requires something different than my mama expects. It's something different than my kids expect. But being willing to go through the stuff we have to go through, ups, downs, trials, tribulations, to get to well done. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it for the long haul.
I told y'all an hour wouldn't be enough for me. We're going to try to get some more in here right quick, though. No, I'm silly. Okay, so, oh, goodness. That was I've never asked that question before, but you hit that right on the head. To get to well done, you have to well do.
You have to well do.
I like that. I like that. So tell me something that's true that almost nobody agrees with you on.
Something that's true.
I know, that is a big one, huh?
That almost nobody agrees with.
Because I don't think I've ever disagreed with you. Well, I probably did. And then I came on board later.
So something that is true, but people fight it. My daughter, and I fought this too, but it's still true. So the Bible tells us to love, and as Christians, I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. It says, "How will you know that? How will men know that you are my disciple? Is that you show love one to another." And so my daughter, when she was 13, 14, I found out that she was interested in girls, and it shook my world. I mean, it shook my world, and it shook my world because I'm the girliest girl, and my daughter was doing everything opposite of that, and it really our relationship struggled for from the time I found out to at least 6 years later. She had graduated high school and was going on about her life, and our relationship was just not at a good place. And so and I didn't like it not being at a good place. And she was living in Nebraska, where her dad is from. I saw him on here a few minutes ago too. And she and I wanted her to come home more, and she wasn't coming home more. But she wasn't coming home more because she knew mom had an issue, and when she would come around, it would just be issues. And so I was like, I want my child to come home. And so then I had been praying from the time I found out. I had never stopped praying, but I realized the prayers I was praying was selfish prayers. They was prayers for God to do things because it would make it better for me. Not about her, but it would make it better for me. And so when I said, okay, Lord, what are you teaching me about me in this situation? I mean, it's been 6 years, and I started to cry when I realized what he was teaching me, because that scripture, how will men know that you are my disciples, is that you show love for one another. And the reason why it affected me, because my daughter was not seeing that love. And I was like, oh, that's what it is. So I called my daughter, and I apologized to her. And we had this long conversation, and she's on the phone like, what is going on with mama? And I was like, I just need to apologize to you for everything that transpired, the things I did, the things I said. I don't even know some of the things. And she started to share with me some of the things that I said that I didn't even know I said. Stacy,
Wow.
I didn't deny I said it because there's a possibility. I did because I was so angry in the process. But I told her that I loved her, and that I will not just tell her I love her, she would see the love. Because I had never stopped loving her, but in all honesty, I pulled my love away from her. And I wrote a book about our story called When Push Comes to Love, because for so many years it was when push comes to shove, and I was just shoving her further and further away. And our relationship began then to really start to turn around. And so when I talk about this, especially when I'm talking in churches. And, the church we have the stigma in the church that's the worst sin in the world.
Yeah.
There's no other sin worse than that, so let's shun. And the shun and pushing away is really all about the individual that's shunning and pushing away, not the person on the other side. And so the thing that people didn't agree with when I would talk about it is that you're a believer, you're commanded to love. Period. You're commanded to love. How are you showing them
me cry up in here.
the love? And then I would get people saying, but the Bible says, and yes, it does, but it also says you're commanded to love.
That's right.
And so because that love healed my relationship with my daughter, changed everything for us. I have the best relationship with her than I've ever had, and my daughter turns 30 this year.
Really?
This started when she was 15. But to see where we are today, because the belief that I love you no matter what. I had taken that away. And when I wrote the book, I shared the book with her. I first told her I needed to write the book. God had placed it on my heart, and she was like, okay, cool. When I wrote it, I sent it to her first. I sent it to different family members, but I really wanted her to read it first. And we both had an aha. And our aha was, Ma, I didn't know what you were going through, because the book from my perspective. And then she started to tell me her perspective. And here we are, like 7 years later, talking about something that we should have talked about
a long time ago.
But I was so bent on, this is not how you're gonna be. You're gonna and all of it was because I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. People will judge me. But everything was about and not really to do with her. And that's one people will reject that when I'm sharing it. They were like, well, no, it's not me. It's yeah. You can't tell me you're not embarrassed. You can't tell me you're not ashamed. You cannot tell me that you don't want anyone to know. You can't tell me you don't want to talk to anyone about it. You want to keep it to you. Can't tell me you don't feel those emotions. And then they're like, well, okay, that's all you centered. That's you centered. And so that's one thing that that I can think of when you share a truth that people want to reject because that truth means that I must be wrong. When it's really it's them. No. You got to get the pluck it out your eye first.
Yes.
Before you start to focus on somebody else's plank in their eye.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, that still.
You don't know what you done.
Girl, it still does. Just because the power of God's love. I mean, because man, how many mistakes have I made? How many sins have I committed? How many things have I done wrong? And yet He still loves me. Yet I put stipulations on
someone
her.
else.
Yeah, that I mean, oh man, I felt like he was really whipping me with that word, and I was like, Uncle, okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. And the minute I got the lesson, the relationship changed.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
Relationship changed.
Wow, I didn't know that question was going to go there, but God is good.
Yes, He is.
Won't He do it?
I won't. He will.
Won't He do it? Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, I think I got time for one more question, y'all. Oh my gosh. She's so amazing, isn't she?
What you got? What you got? I told you nothing's off the table.
Well, you know what? I know one of the things that had me in awe with you. Would you share your hospital experience? Because that was one of your times when you were transitioning from corporate to owning your own, running your own business. And I think people need to hear that. My near-death experience. Yes.
I've been working in corporate America for 20 years, and I'd been saying I was going to leave, start my own business. And so I told my husband I was going to leave, start my business. And at the end of the year, I was like, okay, I'm going to wait till next year. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of that year, okay, I'm going to wait till next year. So it's like 3 years I've been saying this. Now I'm doing work in between that time. I'm, putting my work in to build, to learn, to, get everything together. But I was really scared to take the leap. And I was scared because I got paid on the 1st and the 15th. I was making a 6-figure income, and I knew when my check was coming. And to start a business, I don't know when my check is gonna come. And so I was scared. I didn't mention it out loud. It was one of those things, it lies dormant inside of you, and you keep making up excuses. But the real deal is, which said, okay, you're not really believing and trusting that this,
right.
God has you.
That's right.
And so I had a surgery on December 29, 2011. Mm-hmm. And on January the 1st, I came home, 2012, I came home from the hospital. And January 3rd, I'm rushed back to the hospital 6 days after the original surgery. And I had, all my veins had collapsed and my color was going, and I was looking at my husband's face. It was the first time I ever saw fear in his face. And the nurses are doing all kind of stuff, and they're, doing tests to figure out what's going on. And I hear the nurse say, we need to get her to emergency stat before we lose her. And they're wheeling me into surgery, and I'm passed out. Now, it is not a great place to go under anesthesia when you hear, if we don't get her in, we're going to lose her.
Yeah.
And so to wake up in recovery and realize that I'm still here on this earth just kind of mess with me. And I started crying as soon as I opened my eyes, because I knew I was in a bad state just a few hours earlier. And the doctor came in to tell me what was going on. And she said that the surgery that I had 6 days earlier, they didn't sew up one of the organs, and so I was hemorrhaging. And so for 6 days, I was hemorrhaging. And they had to get in there, find the leak, and close it up. And I was just sitting there saying, in that moment, I said, I believe God is the giver of life, and He decides when you leave here.
He does.
And I said, He has me here for a reason. And I've been putting it off. I've been putting it off. I've been saying I'm going to do it. And I'm like, okay, He has me here for a purpose, and tomorrow's not promised.
Right.
And so I went back to work. 2 months later, I stayed home for a couple of months to recuperate, went back to work, and gave my notice. Not knowing what the next step was, but it was a defining moment for me, really stepping into faith and just believing, and really learning that, we all say, everybody says, seeing is believing, but believing is seeing. And it was the moment I believed that he had me, that he showed me.
Oh.
And so that was game. It was the best thing that ever could have happened to me. But why would it take a near-death tragedy to get you there? Sometimes God wake you up in different ways.
Yes, don't.
And the fact that shook me enough to go from near-death to what I feel today is a new life, to really be able to live and walk in my purpose daily. Yes. It is a gift to the 10th power. But that was literally game changer for me, because it was a faith walk, and I was willing to take the step and walk out on the ledge, knowing I don't see where all I see is a fall down. But that's all right, Lord. You said you would plant solid ground upon me. So he has done exceedingly abundantly above all that I could ever ask or think of, and he's still in the process.
Yes. I'm so glad you shared those stories with me.
Thank you.
And my audience and all of you out there.
Thank you.
That just gave me just a little bit more power. It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. Look, this how
Don't
I
you
am,
start
y'all.
crying
I know when I leave her event, I'll be sitting there in a daze like, what do I say now? But I take that stuff and I use it and apply it to my life. And I got a couple of Becky quotes here that I want to share. You can crack the code.
Yeah. Yes, you can. Oh, this is gonna be good. Let me hear what I've said.
Stop going everywhere trying to get served and be a servant. Mm-hmm. If you don't ask, you won't get it. Mm-mm. Girls compete, women collaborate. Don't let fear stop you from your dreams. And start writing checks that you can actually cash.
Yes.
Those are Becky quotes.
Oh, girl, you listening, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm listening. So I just wanted to share those little Becky quotes real quick. Will you tell the audience how they can get in touch with you?
Yes. All of my social media is Bosspreneur. So anything Bosspreneur comes up, you should see me. If you don't, send me a note, let me know so I can send a cease and desist. But because it's registered trademark, my website is beckyadavis.com, which is my name. And you can also go to the BosspreneurBusinessCircle.com. Mm-hmm. And then I have an online academy for training. It's called the Bosspreneur Academy. You can go there where I offer classes and courses and things like that. So I'd love to connect with you on any social media as well.
Yes. Hit her up. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. It'll change your life. Thank you for coming on the show today, being my guest, getting a little vulnerable and transparent, and my God, it's just impactful. Okay, I'm going to stop, y'all. I got to stop before I start crying. But I want to say we get ready to wrap it up. Mother's Day is not primarily about being a mother and receiving honor, but thanking God for the mother he gave you and giving honor. A day for thanking God for his goodness and giving us mothers. As I was reflecting and studying for my devotion for today, I wanted it to be about Mother's Day. As I was doing that, I was stricken with an overwhelm of gratefulness, and God was really making me aware of how blessed I am, how he allowed me to stop and actually see that my children for what they really are, a blessing from him. So I went to Psalms 127:3. Children are a gift from the Lord. They are a reward from him. I have 5 children, one who is already grown and gone. And I remember how empty nest just set in. It really set in when she left. And when she went out of state. She transferred her colleges and went somewhere far away from me. And I looked around, and then I have 2 that graduate high school in 2 weeks. They graduate in 2 weeks, and I'm like, wow. I have 2 left at home, and it hit me. If you don't stop and enjoy the moments and with these kids, it will be over before you know it. So I'm being completely transparent with you when I'm saying this, because the last thing I want anyone to think is that I'm just some super mom. We all have struggles with motherhood, and I know I do. But I'm going to I want everyone to learn to make a conscious effort to enjoy the moment that you are in with your children. Not to wish for the next one, because it might give you more downtime, or you want to actually live out what you believe. Okay? God first, then family, and then his mission. I know this isn't your ordinary let's celebrate mom message, but I'm really celebrating the children that made me a mom. Okay, and I like you guys to do the same. You wouldn't be a mother without them. You know, I know we get caught up in the hustle and bustle and trying to provide for them, but stop and take a moment to experience the experience of being a mother and be grateful. Once again, children are a gift from the Lord. They are a reward from Him, Psalms 127:3. And you have been listening and watching Candid Conversation with Coach Stacy right here on 108 Praise, where we voice the gospel. And I thank you guys for listening and tuning in, and we will see you again next week. Bye.